On January 2nd, the land remembers. It remembers the Chickasaw and Cherokee, their footsteps soft on northern hills, the whisper of their voices carried on the wind through river valleys and pine forests. It remembers the Choctaw planting maize in the rich soils of the Black Belt, tending beans and squash, watching the seasons turn long before the first settlers set foot on its soil. The rivers and hills hold the echoes of their laughter, their songs, their stories, the first chapters of Alabama, written not on paper, but in soil and river and sky. The gliding canoes of French trappers, their paddles slicing quietly through mist on the Tombigbee and Alabama rivers. Traders' voices mingled with the call of herons, exchanging furs for beads and cloth, shaping an early frontier of commerce. Britain's brief rule after 7663 left its imprint, forts, roads, and the murmur of new laws. Spain held the Gulf Coast, spreading its priests, missions, and settlements along the shore, until the American flag carried soldiers and surveyors across the territory, pressing the edges of a young nation deeper into the woods. The land watched as settlers carved homes from the dense pine forests, raising families, crops, and livestock along winding paths and riversides. Gilbertone and St. Stephen's grew from the forest's edge, their timber frames and smoke from hearts, announcing a new way of life. The rhythm of cotton fields, iron furnaces, and coal mines shape generations, yet the land knew change was coming. On January 2nd, 1944, the ground trembled beneath the drill of Hunt Oil Company's A.R. Jackson. Well, no one near Gilbertone from that black-tipped shaft petroleum rose, and Alabama's economy shifted as surely as a river changing course. Pipelines stretched like veins across the piney hills, derricks clawed at the horizon, and towns pulsed with new work, new energy, new hopes. The land held both memory and promise, watching as communities adapted, fortunes changed, and new generations grew up under the shadow of steel and oil. January 2nd speaks of more than industry, it speaks of continuity. It carries the voices of Creek farmers in morning fog, of French priests kneeling by candlelight, of oilmen wiping sweat from their brows, of families raising children beside derricks that gleam in the sun. It remembers what came before and what comes after, binding the deep roots of native peoples, settlers, and pioneers to the shifting energy of modern life. On this day, the land itself whispers, history is alive, flowing through the rivers, rising from the soil, and carried on every January wind, reminding Alabama that every new year begins not only with dawn, but with the memory of all who walked its hills before us.